Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're flying out the F8F-1 because I just found out they want to down tier this thing to 4.7. And I'm here to say that that is a very bad idea. This thing has not quite as good, but a very similar performance band to the F8F-1B at 6.3. It only has two drawbacks. The guns and the overheating. That is something you really have to manage when you're flying this thing, is the engine temps. But other than that, you are pretty solid. You have an amazing climb rate, amazing acceleration, pretty solid energy retention, and you turn pretty well. As you can see, I'm able to just YOLO climb for the G14 as a 109 G6 is behind me because I drained them all of their energy. Now they're all trying to run away. This 109G is still trying to turn fight me for some reason instead of just pulling away. And they're all both gonna get shot down because this thing really belongs at 5.3, 5.7. Guess he probably could go toe to toe with a K4 and it'd be a fairly balanced fight. And the only reason it is at 5.0 is because the American player base does not know how to fly their planes in the slightest. I was trying to get footage for a 109G2 at 4.3, and I couldn't. Partly because of my aim, but also because the enemy team, the Allied specifically, did not fly their planes correctly. All they did was mow the lawn and turn fight everything. It's been 10 years since this game has come out, and American players, not American specifically, but the people who play American aircraft, have still not figured out how to play their planes correctly. It is quite appalling, and it makes getting footage sometimes really hard. But this is the main part of the game. This is a 6-kill game. I get in the F8F-1. I don't RTB once. Well, I do, but towards the end of the match it doesn't really matter because we've already won. Right now I have a J2M2, and I'm diving for the deck right now. Now you're asking, if you just complained about the American players mowing the lawn, why are you diving to the deck? It's because the J2M2 and most Japanese planes compress a lot harder than American planes do. Look at that. I'm starting to gain position here. I'm reversing the turn. Thankfully, this P-51 comes in because there's a 190 hanging around here somewhere who is actively picking a different line in the J2M2 to make it harder for me to shoot down this J2M2. J2M2 needs to go up in battle rating too. It's way too low for what it is. The performance in that thing is insane, and it's insanely durable too, even though it's made out of wood. I should have died there, but thankfully I didn't. And right now I am just trying to get this J2M2 off me so I can handle the 190. But right now I need to. So because this 190 is picking a different line, I have to pull off the J2M2 and pick up some speed to dodge the 190. Now, some of you may be saying that the 450 cals are quite a drawback, but in my experience of these two matches I played to get this footage, they were pretty alright. Sometimes they were like, bro, come on. But most of the time, if you got a good solid burst, you were fine. And you did get a pretty decent amount of pilot snipes. And throughout this video, I want you to watch how I'm managing my engine. Because once this thing starts to cook, it will not stop until you RTB. And that is a very stern warning when you're playing this thing that you should listen to. Otherwise, you will have a very bad time. Use your weapon sparingly. I wouldn't even use it to climb unless you absolutely have to. As you see, I just can't aim, but this should be the kill shot right here. Pilot snipe. I've seen him in the back of the head. He's no longer a problem. And now it just becomes me trying to regain energy in surveying the situation. The way you kind of have to fly American planes is you can't just throw yourself in there. They rely, like the Germans, they rely heavily on having a higher energy state than your enemy aircraft. If you do not have a higher energy state than the enemy aircraft, you better hope that they suck at the game, because you're not winning. Especially, as you see, when there's zeros and M1Ks in the mix. They will rinse you if they get the chance, and it will not be a fun time. This EP-47, I'm going to try to help him get the Yak 3 off. But I don't know why Gaijin wants to put this thing at 4.7. It's a 5.7 aircraft already at 5.0. The performance is insane for the battle rating. It climbs amazingly well. You can put this thing at 25 degrees with the wet on and just be fine. It dives extremely well. The only problem I have with diving is your rudder tends to lock up past 600 kilometers an hour. Makes it really hard to aim. The guns, they do enough damage, but if you really need more firepower, carry the gun pods. They don't tank that much performance, they just won't be able to turn as well. This thing will turn pretty well, it pulls pretty hard. But it does lose energy doing so. So right now I'm trying to deal with this pet group of players. I'm pretty confident I can deal with them. The only problem I'm going to have is the Yak 3 and the 0. I'm going for the 0 because he's the highest person, and he's clearly not paying attention. I think I actually jump scared this guy because he came in through the clouds. He must have his client side must have had the clouds in the same position. I come out of nowhere and I just snipe his tail off, and he will be crashing. But I've learned to not trust severe damages because sometimes you severe somebody and they're fine. So I could take a couple of hot shots, but once I realize he's really going down, I don't bother. Start heading towards the main pack. I do not want them to RTB because I do not want them to camp the freaking airfield. There's another thing I'm really tired of players doing is camping the airfield. You are just milking it. Especially if you're losing on tickets and you're camping the airfield. What's the point? You're going to lose anyways. You either land J out and leave the game so that everyone else can move on with their lives, or go out in a blaze of glory. Go out in a blaze of glory. It's a video game, not real life. You can respawn. So I'm diving on this Yak 3 N1K, and I noticed something odd about the N1K. He is going really slow. I think he killed his engine at some point. But because he's an M1K and really maneuverable, I don't want him sneaking up on me while I'm dealing with a Yak 3 and I-225. Because that will be a very bad day. But he gets taken down one point. I dodged ahead on the Yak 3P. And the Yak 3P is a very interesting aircraft. I do not like the plane. It feels weird to me. I feel like I can do anything I want with it, but not to the point to where I can actually use it to an advantage. But the energy on that thing, retention on thing is insane, and I'm just going to pull away. This is the Yak 3P is one of the better 5.0s, and I will just pull away after doing a couple 180-degree turns. And Gaijin wants to put this thing at 4.7? It doesn't make any sense. Gaijin clearly does not know how to balance the game. They really should, at this point, ask players who've played this game pretty much religiously and ask them where things should go. Because they themselves make the worst decisions on a lot of battle ratings, and this is one of them. I will eventually pull away from this guy, but I'm putting on wet because my engine, even though my engine's cooking, because he's pulling some pretty close pot shots. he eventually pulls away, and that's my cue to get altitude and energy. And which is something you really need in American aircraft. Without it, you will definitely be in a disadvantage. But this thing already demolishes 5.0, 4.0, keeps up with the 6.0s. And you think it's really fair for it to fight 4.0s, 1.9 F4s, Spitfire 5Cs, Spitfire Mark 9s, P-63s? The low tier zeros, they can get out of the way pretty easily, but this thing will just outpower them, no problem. You want this thing to fight J-21s? That thing already kind of struggles in the performance department, and you're just gonna create a monster. This is why players leave the game. It's because of certain aircraft that define the meta so harshly that if you're not in this aircraft, you are at such a distinct disadvantage, it's not even fun. And that's what this game is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun. If you are not having fun, people will leave Gaijin. And I don't think you understand that. That is probably why a lot of the players leave. It's because they're not having fun. And it's frustrating. I refuse to play. I really don't like playing really overpowered aircraft because of this reason. Because there's no challenge. I don't learn anything, I just do what I want, turn my brain off. I don't think that's fun. It's not rewarding. I don't feel like I earned the kill. I just press, hold the elevator button and then win. That's not fair. This I-225, I don't know why he decided to climb up for me. He should have kept his energy. But, this thing just gets positioned instantly and just blast him. You guys can enjoy my aim for a little bit here. But, I really do think Gaijin needs to take more time and figure out how to make better battering changes. But this has been Plain Killer. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye-bye.